Hi, my name is Ross Ashman. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Public Sector Network. I'm joined here by Khedra Cloud. He is the head of marketing for Australia for Publicis Sapient. Khedra, thanks for joining me.
You're welcome.
Always
Thanks for having me.
a pleasure. Why don't you start by just sort of telling us a little bit more about your role and the organisation?
Sure. Publicis Sapient, digital business transformation consulting firm, CX-led and driven for human impact. Really fascinating place to work and an inspiring opportunity for me in my role to build the brand awareness for Publicis Sapient here in Australia, particularly in the public sector, and then also generate demand for our services.
Khedra, we recently did a piece of work together around the citizen engagement survey, which was a really fascinating piece of research. I'd love you just to talk us through, I guess, how that worked and what the outputs have been.
Yeah, so last year we set up the Citizen Insights Hub. And this is our central point of contact with the public sector. Central to that is our digital citizen survey. It's the largest of its kind in the country. We survey over 5,500 Australians, and it's a really accurate sample of the Australian population. And effectively what we're doing is we're tracking changing trends within the citizenry around the uptake and use and appetite for digital government services. Positively, what we're seeing is a real affirmation that Australians are more and more wanting to engage with government services through digital channels. Some interesting areas that we're seeing come through are around mental health services, particularly during COVID, but that's also flowing through post-COVID now as well. I'm excited to announce that we'll have the second report, so 2023's report will be going live in the next 6 weeks. And so, check that out on our site, subscribe, and you'll be able to get that report for yourself as well. The data that we actually extract from this report is deep and very rich. And so there's many ways that we actually cut the data and the insights that we tell and the stories that we can share with clients. So we actually encourage our clients to reach out to us and tell us a little bit about what they might want to be exploring within that data. And we can do specific cuts and then come out and actually share those insights with you.
Awesome. And that kind of leads into my next question, which is obviously the landscape is changing for technology and consulting companies in terms of how they go to market and also specifically within the public sector. That research is, I guess, one great example of how you're doing things a bit differently over at Publicis Sapient. And I've always been super impressed by the way that you go about things. What are some of the other trends that you're seeing within the kind of marketing function that is sort of evolving or adapting the way that you as a business go to market?
Well, I think the first thing that we've got to recognise in Australia is that it's not a 6 degrees of separation. It is 1 to 2 degrees of separation. When we're talking at that C-suite level and key influences within large organisations, most of the time they're all interconnected with one another. They will be talking to each other and they are discussing issues and themes that are arising in the sector together and looking to solve a lot of them collaboratively. And so what's important for us is that we not only need to have those relationships with those key people, but we need to be talking about the right things. So we need to be part of those conversations at the table, so to speak. And then when we're at the table, we need to be able to add value to those conversations. And so, research-driven campaigns like the Citizen Insights Hub and our Digital Citizen Survey are really key to that. But it's also about being able to transfer a lot of, traditional marketing, awareness building and brand building activities into direct engagement and relationship building, and then being able to transact that into value exchange and deals.
Yeah, perfect. And as I kind of alluded to, we've obviously been working together for sort of 18 months, 2 years.
Yeah.
Feels like a lot longer or less, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right.
What have been some of the reasons or the outcomes that you've seen in this partnership that's kept you coming back and working with us, which we fully appreciate, if I haven't said it already.
Yeah. No, thanks, Ross. No, it's actually great working with the Public Sector Network. I think what we recognised very early on in the relationship was the deep engagement that PSN has within the public sector. You see that with the level of seniority attending the events. You see that with the level of engagement and interaction that happens within those events. And our partnership includes, big sponsorship of major events like Innovate, but also smaller roundtables and more intimate VIP kinds of settings. And in each of those experiences, we've always been really impressed with the turnout and the quality of the content. I think fundamentally too, as a marketing lead that has a very lean team locally in Australia, it's the level of coordination support that we get as a partner around these events that really enables myself and my team to focus purely on content and adding value to the attendees rather than having to worry about logistics and things like that. So I think, I've worked with many event vendors in a range of different industries, and I've yet to have the level of sort of coordination support that I've received from PSN. So from us, that's a real value for us.
Perfect, thank you for that. Khedra, thanks for joining me. Hopefully
Pleasure.
you found that useful and insightful. Again, if you want to reach out and connect with either myself or Khedra, I'm sure he'd be happy to hear from you.